number one necessity after a 12-hour drive and then an early morning, the nectar of the gods.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah. We're just going through a coffee drive-through right now. We're going to be hitting the highway here right away. How many hours we got left? About 4 hours?
Got about 4 hours left.
Yeah. And then we'll be at Fort Nelson. We're going to hook up with the riverboat captain in the morning and head into elk camp.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. We've been kind of planning this one for about 2 years, and this is going to be an amazing trip.
Yeah.
It's in some of the most beautiful country you'll ever see. So, got to get coffee first.
Oh, yeah. My lack of enthusiasm is not from the elk. It's from a lot of driving.
Yeah. First kill of the hunt. We'll go down and look at that paper.
Pretty sure I hit center.
I think you hit center on that one. Well, we're just scrubbing out the cut lines.
Well, folks, welcome to this week's episode of Trigger Effect. And I can tell you one thing, guys, I am really excited about this one.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're up here and we got up to Fort Nelson last night. We got over here to the Muskwa River, and we're going to be heading up the Muskwa Tuchodi area to hunt. Chris has invited us to come on this elk hunt with him. Chris, you've been up here several times. What can you tell us about this hunt?
Well, it's going to be a real cool time. We're going to get in the boat. We've got ourselves a few hours of Jetboat ahead of us. The scenery is amazing. We're going to get our base camp set up, and then we're going to get on foot and start backpacking up into those mountains. And our encounters, hopefully over the next 12 days, are going to be unbelievable. Really looking forward to it.
That's great. The elk are just starting to really get active now too, I hear.
Yeah, absolutely. We're right at prime time for the rut. There's a lot of active bulls in this area, lots of cows, so I'm really excited for you guys to enjoy this with us.
Well, and I can say, you know, with this being, you know, we did some waterfall hunts already, but with this being our first episode, I'm looking forward to getting a little active as well too. So make sure you stay tuned. You will not want to miss this episode of Trigger Effect.
The Tuchodi River flows through the northern Rocky Mountains into the Muskwa River. The Tuchodi River means place of large water to the Dene First Nations in the Slavey language. The upper Tuchodi Valley runs between mountains with dwarf willow, birch, alpine grasses, sedges, and lichen above the tree line, which is about 1,600 meters above sea level. Where the river leaves the Rockies and enters the eastern foothills, there have been large-scale burning to enhance wildlife range. This has caused the formation of young aspen stands and grasslands. In this area, the floodplain of the river is narrower, running between high sandstone and shale hills with steep sides through narrow gorges with many shallow rapids, home of the Tuchodi elk herd. Closed captioning is brought to you by Regent Custom Cresting. Trigger Effect. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Trigger Effect.
Well, it's our first venture out to Spike Camp. Kent and I are going to do our best to keep up with these young guys, but we're really looking forward to this. This will be exciting.
Should be a nice hike in, lots of action going on. Everybody's pumped.
Yeah, weather's good too.
Yeah.
Let's get our sweat on.
Get our sweat on and go get some elk. Well, we're about halfway up to where we're going to be spike camp. Maybe not quite halfway, but taking a well-deserved break and recharge our water bottles. And we'll put the heavy packs back on and keep going.
Conservation Connection is brought to you by Lethbridge College.
Hi folks, this week I'm with Richard Quinlan from Lethbridge College, who's one of the wildlife instructors, and what I'd like to talk about is in this episode, Kent and I are hunting mature elk up in the middle of nowhere in British Columbia, but when you're doing wildlife management decisions, what are some of the things you have to take into consideration?
Yeah, thanks, Dean. For sure, you want to keep things as general as you can. You want to provide maximum opportunity for the hunters out there. And you're hunting northern BC, you will probably be hunting under a general license, fairly remote area, maybe an antler restriction, probably a 6-point restriction. That's the sort of regime we want to offer for hunters. However, in some areas where there's a lot of access, where there's a large number of hunters wanting to get out there, maybe where the population of the elk is a little bit low, we have to tighten things up. And that can be done through the timing of the season. That can also be done by providing a limited entry hunt. So with the timing, early season, you're harvesting bulls in excellent condition. Later season, you can start to call them in. If we go really late season, that's when you would want to schedule a hunt that would be a depredation hunt, where you're trying to reduce the herd by targeting the cows. One thing to remember is that elk are polygamous, meaning that one bull can breed several females and they have a harem type structure. We need to provide enough escapement of the bulls so that they can get to be that 5, 6, 7 years old, where they're going to take control, they're going to breed, so that we have better productivity and we have the best genes that are actually being passed along in the herd. So we can get down to 20-25 bulls per 100 cows. That's a healthy ratio. If we get down to 8 or 10 bulls per 100 cows, that's starting to be a problem. So we need to tighten things up.
No, that's right, and thank you very much for the information, because a lot of people don't realize what goes into that decision-making process. But right now, let's get back up onto the Tuchodi and see how Kent and I do against some of these big mature elk.
Second morning here. Snow fell last night. We've had about probably 8 to 10 bulls that we bugled yesterday. We got one coming in right at our camp here. We're just finishing our Bushman bar for breakfast. And we got a bull coming in on us right now. Down there. You call that a shooter? All right, we've got the bull right here. He's about 60 yards down in the trees. No room for a shot right now, but let's see if we can get him up here.
Make sure you come back for some more hunting action with Trigger Effect after this commercial break. Welcome back to Trigger Effect.
Well, this is our first night up at our main hunting camp. It's about 12 or 13 kilometer hike in through some pretty rugged country. We had supper, everybody's gone to bed, and we have elk all around us. There's a bull behind me, there's 2 over behind Dean. It's unbelievable. We are right in the heart of this elk country. I can't wait for first light. It's gonna be great hunting.
What do you think, guys?
Well, it's been a couple bad days of weather since we got here, but
It's always expected to get a little bit of snow here. The fog's hindered our hunting a little bit. Our visibility is less than 100 yards.
yeah.
Spent most of the day by the fire yesterday.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems to be like the fog is just shutting the activity down. Last night we had a bit of a clear night, and you know, we could hear them bugling left and right, but it was after shooting hours.
Yeah, that's right. But we're right in the heart of these elk, so as soon as this weather breaks, I'm sure we'll get some heavy action with these elk. They're really active right now.
It's exciting. So anyways, let's get up to our spot. We're just going to take a chill today and kind of listen. Hopefully the fog will lift, but it'll be good.
Let's do this.
Time to rock.
Let's go.
Tips and techniques are brought to you by Resourceful Redneck, featuring Mike Holland.
Hi there, my name's Mike and I'm the Resourceful Redneck. Thanks for joining us for today's Tips and Techniques segment. As you can see, today the guys are hunting in a remote and isolated location. When you hunt places like that, you need to be prepared for anything. There's products out there on the market today that can actually save your life. You need to make sure that before you head out, you are prepared. Look for products that are small, that are lightweight, and most importantly will work when you need it the most. If you're able to prepare accordingly, you can make sure that your next hunt is successful and you can get home safe. Well, that's today's segment. Thanks for joining us, and please go over to our website where you can catch all kinds of tips and ideas on how to make your next hunt great. Now let's get back and see how the guys are doing.
Ourselves a snowstorm the last 2 days. We've been sitting around the fire doing nothing. Now we finally got a little break in the weather. We've got ourselves a 6x6 bull elk here up on the hill. He busted out there probably about 10 minutes ago, so we're gonna try and get him in here. See if we get ourselves a shot. There, the fog came back in. We had a good eyeball on his rack. He's a 6x6, but he was staring straight at us. So we were waiting for him to turn broadside, and just as he started to turn, this is what we got.
Yeah, he was 185 yards, But the ethical thing to do is what you did, which is hold off, wait for that good broadside shot. But you know what? This is the second time we've seen this bull in this area. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get him the third. So just patience.
He's not spooked, so we'll hope for next time.
Stay tuned for more Trigger Effect after this commercial break. Welcome back to Trigger Effect.
Okay, so what we're doing, we're back up on the ridge yesterday where we heard them and went down the spine. So we've worked our way up here. Chris has just done a few nice soft cow calls and we can actually hear them. I think they've come up a little bit, but I don't know, what do you guys think?
It sounds like they're just on the back side of this bigger knob straight across from us. So.
Yeah, they've made up some ground from where they were last night, deep down.
So Chris, what do you think the game plan will be?
I think we need to play it out and see if these guys are rutting pretty hard. They should come up to us and want to check out what's happening.
I think I know what you're going to say next, but if they're not, we got to go after them.
Down the elevator we go.
That's evidence that these bulls have been hanging around here quite a bit. This is about the third rut hole that we found, kind of a wallow. They've been chewing up this whole hillside, this ridge. We're almost at the bottom and we're actually at the point of no return now. If we shot a elk down there, we'd have to figure out a different way to get it out. So
Yeah.
So we're gonna head back up, I think, and see if we can't find something else up at the top.
Re-strategize and do some calling.
You bet.
Well, that's it. Camp's wrapped up. We're just waiting for the Jetboat to come up and pick us up. But I mean, what an amazing experience. I mean, I can't stress it enough. Right from the drive up here, you know, staying in Fort St. John, staying in Fort Nelson, jetboating in with Kevin and Jetboat Adventures. Like, it was just an experience. I mean, hiking up into those mountains, being in that type of habitat, it was really a slice of heaven.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, everything went well getting up here. It was a good time. But we got back into those mountains and Mother Nature dealt us a deck of cards that included fog, it included snow, it included wind, and all of those factors kind of hindered our chances for success.
Yeah, that's for sure. Even though we weren't successful on this trip, our youngest member of our party, Cole, was. So let's just listen how Cole's hunt went down.
We were creeping along the ridge and we came just to the edge, and my dad let a bugle go, and down below we heard another bugle, so we crept over to the edge and peered down, and there on the ridge there was a big 6x6 bull standing there, quartering away, and so I laid down and got ready for the shot, and he turned broadside and I hit him in the shoulder and he went 20 feet, fell down, and it was a lot of fun, and it was an amazing experience to get my first bull, and then we packed him out, and a lot of work, but now we got meat from the freezer and all ready to go.
Well, Cole, that's awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that story with us. I wish I could have been there to see that. I mean, that is just exciting. What an incredible experience for a young 15-year-old kid. And, you know, to me, I don't really care that I didn't get anything. To see that is, it's just, that's why we all hunt. It's for the youth.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we'd like to thank all our viewers, all our sponsors. Trips like this wouldn't be possible without everybody involved in that, and so make sure you stay tuned for another exciting episode of Trigger Effect.
Go to www.cwtf.ca and click on their membership tab now. This has been a Thunder Boys production.